How are you doing? I believe you're enjoying this unexpected holiday, and I believe very soon we shall be seen face to face, and we have access to talk in the class again. You're welcome back again to this class, and I believe you enjoyed the last class we had, and I know you enjoy this class more. I am still your teacher, Mr. DB. And remember last week we started with angles 2, and we talked about angle between lines, where we talked about angle at a point, adjacent angle, and vertically opposite angle. Remember we said adjacent angles are supplementary angles, and angles that are supplementary, they add up to 180 degrees. And we talked about angles at a point, a complete rotation, remember, like a complete circle. Now when you add the angles together, they add up to 360 degrees. And the third angle we talked about last week was vertically opposite angle, that is also called angle, can you remember? Angle what? Angle X. Yes, you are right. Today we'll be looking at parallel lines and the angles that we have when we have parallel lines and transversal lines. So, what are we waiting for? Let's enjoy the ride. So, lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, students should be able to identify parallel lines, explain transversal, solve angles with parallel lines. Wow, they are not difficult to do, but I believe you understand. And after this class, you'll be able to deal with this mathematics challenge. Are you ready with me? So, parallel lines. Two lines are parallel if they are always the same distance apart. Can you see the lines? The one up and the one down. They are parallel. They can never meet. It is just like an endless road that starts and end, does not end. That you can see the arrow. It means it has no starting point, has no end point, so it can go continuously. They have the same distance and they do not end. They do not meet rather. So that's what we call parallel lines. Then you have transversal. Now, what transversal try to do is to intersect two parallel lines. Transversal is any line which intersects two parallel lines. You can see it from the diagram. We have the transversal crossing the two parallel lines. So transversal makes several angles with the parallel lines. Those are the angles we want to look at today. I want to solve some examples on them. A transversal makes several angles with the parallel lines. These angles are 1. We call it alternate angle. Alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. Again, alternate angles are equal. You have to start singing that like a song. Alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. And they are also known as Z angle. Why do we call them Z angle? You see in the next slide the shape they make, the letter they form when we have alternate angles. So let's see. Now look at this, the diagram. You can see the blue line, the blue angles where we have our X and Y. You can see that the angles form Z angle. That is Z angle. So that's why we call it alternate angle. You can see the blue from here, this way and this way. So that's what we call X angle. So our X equals to Y because they are what? Alternate. Because they are what? Alternate. Check that diagram again. You can see the blue. You can see the blue on the orange line. That is what we call alternate angle. Number 2, we have corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are also equal. Corresponding angles are also equal, and they are known as F angles. What I just call it? F angles. When you want to recognize or identify your corresponding angle, you look at letter F in your shape, in your diagram. So let's look at this. Here we have a blue line to the left and red to the right upon the orange lines. So you can see that we have X and Y, that is F, and we have A and B, that also forms what? F angle. So our X equals to Y and our A equals to B, because the two lines, the two shapes form what? F angles, and we call it corresponding angles. Then we have interior opposite angle. Interior, when we say interior, angle that something that is inside. Something that is inside. So interior means angles that are inside the parallel lines and the transversal, angles that are inside. That's the meaning of interior. If you look at, we will see the diagram in the next slide. So interior opposite angles add up to 180 degrees. They are called U angle or C angle. So when you see your interior angle, or we can also call it skull interior angle, you see this shape U or shape C. Anytime you see shape U or shape C, they are called interior opposite angles or co-interior angle, and they are supplementary angle in that they add up to 180 degree. They add up to what? 180 degree. They add up to what? 180 degree. Let me go back. Our alternate angle is called Z angle and they are equal. Corresponding angles, we call it F angle and they are equal. Then co-interior angle or interior opposite angles are called they are supplementary angle. They are angle U and angle C in the shape that you see when you see the diagram. So our co-interior angle or interior opposite angle, they give us U shape and C shape. Look at the first angle by the left here. You can see that our X and Y are inside angle. So that's why we call it interior angle. So our X plus Y equals to 180 degree. That is supplementary. Now look at the next one. You can see that our A and B are also inside angle. That is, and they are facing each other. That is opposite. So our A plus B is equals to 180 degree. So that is what these are the angles we call interior opposite angles. This first one and the second one. The first one you can see is like U shape, while the second is like C shape. So now let's solve some examples and then we'll see how far we can go. The example 1, identify I alternate angle, I corresponding angle, I interior opposite angle in the figure below. In this figure we have ABCD, VWXY. So from this we are to identify the alternate angle, the corresponding angle, and the interior angle. So let's, from here, before we move to the next slide, can anybody point out the alternate angle, the corresponding angle, the interior angle, interior opposite angle from this place? You can see that our B and Y are alternate angle because they form the Z shape, and our D and V are also alternate angle. So therefore, B equals to Y and D equals to V. That is our alternate angle. Now, our corresponding angle. In this corresponding angle, we have our A and V, F shape, B and W, C and Y, D and X. So our A equals to V, B equals to W, C equals to Y, and D equals to X. So we are having 4 corresponding angles and we are having 2 alternate angles. Now the next one is our interior opposite angle. So we have just 2 interior opposite angles because they are inside. We have the angles inside here, B and V, then D and Y. So our b plus v equals to 180 and our d and y equals to 180. So let's look at the solution here. So we can see alternate angle of dv and what? By. Corresponding angle where we have 4, we have a equals to v, b equals to w, c equals to y, and d equals to x. So our interior opposite angle, we have b plus v equals to 180 degree, then d plus y equals to 180 degree. So those are the alternate angle, corresponding angles, and interior opposite angle or co-interior angle that we have in the example 1. Now let's look at example 2. Find the value of the marked angles in the following. We have the first one, we have the second one, we have the third one. Now before you move to the next slide, can you quickly try to deduce the alternate angle, whether we have alternate angle, whether we have corresponding angle, whether we have co-interior angle in this. So you can see that our 104 and W are co-interior angle, 104 and Y are alternate angle, W, that is in the first, W and X is also alternate angle. So in this place, we have our so let's look at the solution. So we can say that W plus 104 equals to 180 degree. We call it co-interior angle. I told you in the last class that you must also always put the reason for doing whatever you have done in solving angles. So our W plus 104 degree equals to 180 degree. Why? Because they are co-interior angle or interior opposite angles. So our W equals to 180 degree minus 104 degree. We have our W to be 76 degree. Then our X equals to W equals to 76 degree. Why? They are alternate angle. They form X angle. They are alternate angle. Then Y equals to 104 degree. That is also alternate angle. That is alternate to the angle 104 and they form Z angle. Your ability to trace out the shapes or the letter formed by these angles will help you to solve a lot of problems when it comes to angle between lines and parallel lines. So B, we have 35 plus A equals to 180 degrees. That's adjacent angle. Remember we talked about adjacent angle, they are supplementary. So our A equals to 180 minus 35. A equals to 45 degree. Then B equals to corresponding angle. You can see it corresponds with that the upper 35 degree, giving us F angle, and C equals to A equals to 145 degree. Why? Because they are alternate angle. They alternate, that they form angle Z. And the third solution, the third question, we have A equals to 98 degree, corresponding angle, that is F angle. B plus 98 degree equals to 180 degree. It means 98 angle 98 and angle B are inside. You know, I told you interior means angles inside. Angles inside. So our B plus 98 are inside and they always add up to 180 degree. Why? Co-interior angle or interior opposite angles. So we have B equals to 180 degree minus 98. B equals to 72 degree. So you can go over and over and over these examples again so that you become a perfect solver of mathematics. So thanks for listening, and I believe you enjoyed this class. I pray very soon we shall see face to face because I'm missing you guys. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. We shall meet again next week by God's grace. Stay blessed. Stay fresh. Bye-bye.